amazing and gorgeous vessel is called an amphora. Amphora is a clay vessel that sort of reminds us of our roots to wine and how long wine has been a part of our world as humans. Amphora have been around for 8,000 years as winemaking fermentation vessels. And this is one of the reasons that wine became so important in the human culture, was because we didn't have safe drinking water. So by fermenting grapes or fruit to an alcohol level that killed other microbiology, we were able to drink with our meals. And so amphora have really been around and part of this winemaking equation for as long as wine itself. Before barrels were ever introduced into the wine world, amphora was where grapes were fermented, wine was aged, and wine was transported in these clay vessels of various sizes. There are several things that you can actually do with an amphora. You can make wine in them. Whole berries, whole clusters of grapes simply get thrown into the top of the amphora and begin fermenting. This is a thick-walled, fairly temperature-controlled, cooler environment than a barrel, and helps to keep the fermentation warm and consistent. Amphora wines, or Qvevri wines as well, are also really where orange wine has seen a renaissance from, because back in the history of winemaking and wine growing, we didn't have presses that separated the juice from the skins, and so all wines, all grapes were made in this vessel on their skins. So white grapes fermented on their skins to give what we call today orange wines or skin contact wines. These white wines will appear more orange and deeply hued than a typical white wine in color, and they will have more phenolics or tannins on the palate and be a much sturdier, more robust style of wine. In many wineries, we use these as a complexing factor in our fermentation vessel and élevage vessel regime. It's like having a spice rack when you're cooking. You get different flavors and different flavor compounds developing in these amphora because of the shape of them, for one thing. This convex egg shape keeps the wine in suspension, and so it smooths the tannins earlier in the wine's life than in a barrel. And the same with keeping the wine on its skins in here. The skins and the wine keep in constant movement, giving a very resolved, gentle tannin structure to the wine as you keep it in the vessel on its skins. Depending on the porosity and on how long the amphora or clay has been fired in the kiln, you will have more or less flavors of the actual clay on your wine itself. So wines that are fired in amphoras that are very hot temperatures will be more like glass in terms of their porosity and the flavor impact on the wine itself. So higher firing temperatures mean more inert vessels, meaning that you will not have that sort of brick dust character on the palate of the wine. However, as these are naturally made, and this is an Italian amphora, probably made in the Impruneta region just outside of Florence, this will give to the wine some really lovely textural complexity on the palate and provide a velvety, dusty feeling, cocoa powder feeling to the palate of the wine. And as I said, it just adds a really nice complexing factor to the wine itself and gives you more spices, if you will, to be able to blend into your more complete